to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Jamie, you want to pray?
Sure can. Dear Lord, we want to thank you for allowing us to gather here today. We ask that you please be with us as we go about the business on this agenda and concern for the citizens of the town of Gordonsville. We ask that you please remember all the families represented at this table. These things we ask in thy name. Amen.
Amen. Call the meeting to order and have a roll call.
Vice Mayor Potts.
Here.
Councilwoman Biggs.
Here.
Councilwoman Van Treese.
Here.
Councilman Hart.
Here.
Councilman Prophet. Here.
Okay, noted that this is a special call council meeting, and on this agenda, and the only thing that can be discussed are two line items here tonight. Point that to my attorney,
That's just
our attorney.
what you gave notice for.
Do what?
That's just what was given notice for.
Okay, all right. Okay, we'll make that. And line item number 5, discussion for a building inspector. Open up and go ahead.
Did Mr. McHenry meet all
He
criteria?
did.
Yes, sir.
Everything?
He did. I have it right here. He has Shauna Kirby, Swallows Insurance Company for the term of $1 million.
It's in order.
Any questions?
Just from the last meeting, I've looked at both proposals, both insurance certificates, and both appear to be in order. Everything's submitted as it needed to be.
What do we need to do as far as if we terminate Mr. Warren's service? And do we need that in a motion form, or do we just need a motion made to
No,
by
sir.
Mr. McHenry?
Well, your last, when you passed your ordinance, the revision to the building codes ordinance, it allowed for the opening of the position, so you don't have to terminate anybody. It's just basically filling it. So
We've got
the
two.
amendment to your ordinance allowed you just to fill it. So it's not, it opened the position up, and so there's no
We've
need
got
for
2 applications,
termination.
and we're going to go around and who you want, you vote for, and when we get done, we'll tie them up. Who's got the majority wins.
You want to make a motion, or you just want to go around the table?
I'm going out the table.
All right. Vice Mayor Potts.
Mr. McHenry?
Councilwoman Biggs.
Mr. McKinney.
Councilwoman Van Treese.
Mr. McKinney.
Councilman Hart.
Mr. McHenry.
Councilman Prophet. Mr. McKee.
5-0. Okay, now, what about projects already started? Does he come to inspector right now, and we've got houses out there that's have final inspection on them? Does he do them or what?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
He starts as of tonight.
starts as of tonight.
Now, any work that was done before, that individual be entitled to be paid for, but anything
Well,
Going
permanent's paid
forward.
up front, correctly?
Right.
How would that work? He just have to eat the first couple and finishing up?
yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Best way I know to say it.
Hey, that's what, well, you can.
Yes, sir.
Line item 6, discussion of on the ordinance of 19-05-13 fiscal year 2019-2020 budget. Floor is open for discussion.
And just for the council's sake, this was advertised and noticed as a work session on the budget, so there wouldn't be a vote for the budget. It's just an opportunity to discuss it or ask questions.
And this is based on without the local option
included, right? Okay.
$1,000.
Do what?
$1,000. You know.
Okay.
It figured decimal point 2727% of what our local option was, and we took the total that we received last year and took that of it. It was like $103,000.
Okay.
Does everybody understand the budget? If not, one of y'all can explain it to them. There's three of us new here, so. How do y'all wanna do it? Do you wanna just ask questions, or us go line by line, or what do you wanna do?
God, if we went line by line, we'd be here till
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I was asking. If you, unless everybody's got something marked. Is there any questions?
Of course,
Now's the time to ask it.
you know that on this revenue that it is absolutely an estimate. It
Right.
may be more, it may be less. And we're pretty sure that local option money's gonna be less. That goes into effect July 1. Okay? We have an election set for August. If it passes, then we'll start collecting in September. All right, they collected in September, they don't have to mail it in till October the 20th. Then we won't get a check for that until November.
Do we have a firm date on that?
No, I was just gonna say, I submitted the resolution to the election commission. They acknowledged receipt, but I don't have a date. I hope to have one before the end of the month. I will check on it, in fact, to see what date that would be. But they acknowledged receipt, and that's all I heard from them.
Has anything been written up yet? Like how this is gonna look on a ballot?
Yes, ma'am. That's what we submitted to
That's
the
what you
election.
submitted?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
They
Alright.
approved that in a resolution.
Okay.
You got a copy of that, do you, by any chance, so she can see it?
Maybe.
She would like to see how that's written.
Yes, I need to.
I understand it, so I know you can. Yeah, we'd all agree it was kinda tricky last time.
Yes.
Didn't know what I was voting on the last time.
I do not, Ms. Beats, but I will get that to you. I didn't bring that file with, but I'll get it to you.
I think it's.
We passed it last time.
I have contacted the state and got an updated status report for all the businesses in town to make sure that we're collecting all the tax money that we're supposed to be. So I'm working on that right now. Everything looks like it's in order, but I'm double checking it, so. Need to do that every couple of years to make sure everything's going where it's supposed to go.
I'd like to do it every year.
Yeah, yeah.
We have a tricky situation down here. We've got a lot of businesses
Right.
right in the city limits got Brush Creek addresses.
I actually set up an account so every year we can just go in and download it and not have to worry about trying to track down the right person or whatever, so. It'll be a lot smoother going forward.
On the local beer tax, didn't y'all tell us last time that you looked for that to be a decrease? Yeah. But it's up on the budget.
No, it's proposed that the actual year to date was 93, and so, like I said, we were expecting, so we put in.
Les,
Yeah,
I'm looking at the estimated.
yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, it's all estimated.
But I was comparing it to the proposed, and I was thinking it needed to be less. I wasn't looking at
There we go.
what.
Rule of thumb on
These
any
numbers are pretty
budget,
little. Everything's there now. I couldn't see it
estimate
before.
low on revenue and high on expenditures. So if you wanna get in a lot of trouble, is go the other way, and it's better to have too much than not have enough.
Right.
In other words, if you spend $20,000 on an item, you don't want to come back and put $20,000 in the budget. Because it might be 22 or 25. I mean, you never know when you're going to wreck a car, and you have to have a car that the insurance will pay, and that car will be 7, 8 years old, and we get nothing, and then you've got to come back and buy a $35,000 car. You've got to do that in order to just to cover yourself, so basically all of this stuff. I mean, that's rule of thumb. I mean, that's just.
On legal services.
Yes.
I just know it's a whole lot more. I just was wondering what. It's up to shows 40,000. Went from
The
12
thing of
to
the matter
40.
on this money is, on these right here, is it don't mean that if something's high, that we got to spend that.
Right.
I mean.
Well, I'm just asking because I know if there's been an increase or
Well,
something.
there's not. No, there's not been an increase, but you don't ever know if you're gonna have a loss.
You're right.
And
I
we
understand.
We
didn't
put
have
the
it.
money in there for the special election and that.
Oh, in top of
Figured
that.
it on that,
Oh, okay.
Michael. Okay.
My rate has not changed.
Well, no, I didn't know. I'm just asking.
Yeah,
that's what we're here for, to ask
Yeah,
this.
that's where we plugged in the money
No,
for.
and you never know, like I said, you always estimate those things.
Everything higher. Yeah, I understand that. I just noticed it's 12,000 and went to 40.
Jumped to
That's
40.
what I was saying.
That don't mean that the last
That's
day
gonna be
they're gonna
40.
write him a check
Right.
for the whole $40,000.
But that's what we're gonna pay the special election out of.
Yes.
Out of that too.
Out of that,
Right,
okay.
Just to clear
That's
That clears
25,
that up,
20,
too.
20.
It was
25,000.
estimated 25. She was
Alright.
hoping it would be quite a
Okay.
bit, some less than that. Yes, that was a very high figure that was given. But
Right.
And Barbara, on the beer tax never was, the beer was holding up, it was the liquor that was going, we were gonna lose on where Carthage had come in, and there at one time, we were about $25,000 behind. But it's caught up a little, and it's gonna be we figured 12, 15,
I think it was 15.
that, actual figures, we don't know, they haven't come in yet.
That's just a guess too. You can't
It's
tell.
a shot in the dark, and but you still got to have a budget for the next year.
Have they not signed the lease on the cabin yet? You know, we usually lease that out. I noticed that's not in this year, and I knew that guy was looking to sell his place, so I didn't know if.
Well, it's not time for it yet, I don't
Okay.
think.
Explain to me
Yeah.
a little bit about that.
About the cabin.
I'm new and I'm not familiar with that.
What
I
do
was curious about, I noticed it wasn't anything on it this year, on the cabin.
We inherited that when we bought that piece of, when we got the piece of land, the city put $50,000 in that boat ramp down there, and then, the state
Uh-huh.
built the rest of it. And that basically was for the price of land, and that, utility building down there, and that cabin was with it, and when we first come in here, I thought about maybe fixing that cabin up and maybe renting it like we do the Civic Center. And so he came down there, and the water was, when they come by, they cut the water and electricity. He's running the water and electricity from his house there. But now there's gas come directly from the road. So we were gonna have to work on it, put gas in it, put water in it, and this, that, and the other. And so that boy come down there one day, wondered what we were doing, and he just asked me, he said, "Will you give me a lease on that for a year?" And I said, "Yeah, I will." He said, "Well, would it be fair?" He said, "I don't use it to anything, I just don't want nobody there." I told him $2,400 a year, and he's paid it every year.
Okay.
So that's been since 2011, so we have, in 10 years, we'll have $22,500 of our money back. And it's sitting there. Matter of fact, they come down there to tear it down one time, and I stopped them. They already had a hole dug to push it off in.
Gotcha.
We had to find a lease to get them to stop from tearing it down.
What was the amount of years on that down there?
50.
On,
A bunch, I don't know.
50.
I can't tell you for that. I don't know. I wasn't here when that was done.
yes, sir.
I was. It was 50.
50.
And there's probably an option for 50 more.
After the, yeah, I think after 50 we can still lease it.
I probably won't have to worry about that. It's,
No, that was probably,
No.
You know,
He's up there, buddy.
yeah, I'll be 100-something years old. I plan on it on profit.
Any question on expenditures? And once again, on that, if you look, actual year to date, 17, 18, that was last year, and we hadn't finished out the 18, 19, so we don't know. And, in the past, on the local option, 1 month a year, we usually got a pretty good sized check, but we haven't got one this year, so our checks are running around, well, last month was $25,451, and we have got, you used to get one would be about 60, but that, it's not come in.
it should be here first of next week.
You think it will be?
It's usually around the 20th.
We don't know, so I mean, you can't count your chickens till they hatch.
Was the extra on the park figured in to compensate on some of the upgrades to some of the buildings down there?
What line item are you on? What's your number?
That was on that first page of that. It was, I'm sorry, hang on.
Yeah, it's halfway down on the third page.
Yeah, it's on that third page. It was at 20,000.
I think you said that you were expecting to do, yeah, $5,000 worth of repairs to, was it
Shelters.
the shelters?
Shelters, okay. I had looked back on 2018-19, and I noticed that was the amount too that y'all had on that.
We've had several issues down there that we've
That
been
needs-
nursing for a while, septic, stuff like that, so I'm sure that it's part of that
Gotcha.
also. And you never know when somebody's gonna break something.
Right.
Right off. Right.
On the regular employee wages on the police department, I forward that off this paper. The proposed budget, $9,000 less than the budget was given in 2018-19. Will that cover the employee wages?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it should, because you're gonna pick up a 6-man, see, and we're just about the one out of school, so I mean, it should be no problem with that. But you're gonna pick up a full one instead of just one for a couple of months a year. How many men are we working on shift now?
One and on some shifts, have 2 a half shift each.
How many do you have today?
Had me, well, I'm on light duty, had Jerry Bass and Ronnie was both been at the school.
Is there any reason why we had to have 3 today?
Yes,
What for?
because they had some school, something or another. And if I'm light duty, I can take calls. So I had to have Jerry.
School went out today.
They had an administrative day or something he went to.
Yeah, we were there today.
No children there.
I've got him working 2 to 10 for the rest of the week while he's, the time I've got him. While the other ones is on vacation.
Got any applications yet?
One and 2 uncertified.
Any questions?
We won't vote on this tonight.
No,
No.
no, no.
In June.
Strictly discussion on this. Nothing else can be brought up, so there's two line items. Everybody finished? Motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second that motion.
Motion been made by Vice Mayor Potts and Councilman
Clerk.
Oh, thank you.
6:55, we're adjourned.